Namaste. Peace, love, and light. Welcome to Powerhouse Tarot. I'm Energy. Welcome to the live. So today's reading is going to be a shadow report, okay? Shadow report is so important for all of us because the shadow is a very aspect that is within all of us that we need to pay attention to. We also need to nourish it. You know, it's a big part of us that protects us. You know, it really has our best interests in mind. It's just a side of us that, again, above all, we kind of put our lighter side out to the world, to the public, whatever you want to call it, right? We have this persona of who we are, who we show the world that we are, right? This is our higher version of us. Some will call it like the light side, the sun side, right? Many people will recognize this aspect of you as maybe your ascendant sign, what people recognize you as, right? The sign that most people would call you, right? So to put it in layman's terms, the shadow report, okay, this reading that I've kind of put together, it's kind of an original for the most part here. It's paying attention to that shadow aspect of us, okay, shining the light on it, giving it its due importance because it helps us to shape into who we truly are, and who we truly want to be, deep down inside, despite the parts of us that we may hide, okay, on some real shit. And sometimes the parts of us that we hide are often the better parts of us. We just have this in our head that we think, the world needs to see or we should be, right? Because of the norms, work, whatever it is, these different influences. So I feel like it's something that we all, it's a key part to character development. And I feel like we all should definitely give it more focus and attention. So that's why I definitely conduct the shadow report every week. This is a shadow report. And I just wanted to give a little bit more detail into why I'm conducting the shadow report and adding it to the channel. Okay. Despite what everybody might, what I'm saying? But this is definitely a part of all of us and definitely a part of, the development process, right? We can't just talk about all of the accolades and the, right? Because it was the valleys and the plateaus that made the accolades so great. You know what I'm saying? So I feel as though to miss out on the shadow is to miss out on the most important part of us. And I want to give it some attention every week. If you guys enjoy the messages containing to the shadow report, make sure that you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel, all of that. You already know the vibes, okay? Thanks for rocking with me, all my spiritual OGs that's already been here. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Love you guys. Love you down. What it do? Big energy. You already know. You about to get into it. Okay. What does the shadow need to tell us right now? Okay. October 17th. All right. Thank you, Spirit. So yeah, the shadow, I mean, it's a very important part of all of us in our development, so many times why we might make a mistake or do things over and over is because we missed out on what the shadow was trying to tell us. We missed out on what the shadow had to say. We was too busy pushing that down. We was too busy repressing that energy, within us, okay? And it's so important for us to remember that, that aspect of us, because it's important, right? Because it's not like you got to push it on nobody, but it's a part of everybody's development, you know what I'm saying? And we're all going through so many, right, different I feel like so many different tango lessons in life, right? I feel like we all on the dance floor and we all doing the tango, maybe a little bit different, right? And so that's what I kind of look at, how I the analogy I use for how I look at life. And the shadow is definitely a part of how we're going to do that tango, okay? how that tangle is gonna look for us, okay? So thank you, Divine Holy Spirit. Connect me here with the Dark Goddess's messages and what it is that this week we can look forward to addressing with our shadow. RePort as a collective, as a greater good for all. Those that will catch this message. Thank you, Shadow. Okay. So this week popped out was health, defense, and transformation. These three cards literally just fell out as I'm asking a question. I'm going to take these. Thank you, Divine Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, thank you. Okay. So, Ingana is the first card, the goddess Ingana in health, okay? Ingana represents health, getting better. Some of us might have been dealing in the collective with certain health issues. This is because you're eating better, you're doing much better as far as how you're feeling about yourself these days psychologically. I feel like too, some of us on some real shit been really attending to the shadow, and it's reflected in our health because we're getting better at this time, right? Also, those of us who are not, or you feel like, okay, my health, I feel like it's something I need to focus on. Okay, so there's two different messages here I'm getting with Indana. And this snake, right, and what it represents. It's kind of like if you need to shed or let go of any parts of you that no longer, you know, that old shit, kind of shedding it away, letting the new you shine through. Messages of health with Ingana. Then we have the goddess Aradia with defense. Okay. With defense. And Aradia is speaking probably here more so of, you know, us as a collective needing the shadow, you know, in terms of defense. You know, I feel like the shadow was a huge part of our defense, and I feel like sometimes our shadow can come across like a bully, but really that's not who your shadow really is. I feel like coming into healthy dialogue with self helps you like be better able to have a healthy dialogue with other people. That's just period. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a hard pill for some of us to swallow, because then it makes you have to go within and figure out, like, well, why am I treating people a certain type of way that I don't think is acceptable, right? So I feel like there's this defense here coming in with the shadow self that wants to kind of mirror and shine a light. You know, like, see how like this light in the background, it's kind of like shining a light like on, you know, that higher version of ourselves through the dark. Still, she's still beautiful, right? In all her darkness, you know, the shadow is still beautiful, and in all its darkness, you know. But I feel like it's bringing in a defense of, you know, not having to be so overly critical or defensive of people that care about us, or, you know what I'm saying, like finding that healthy balance between what's good for me and what isn't, what I need to be on the defense of and what I really don't. You know, because sometimes it's not that serious, right? And so if it's not that serious, then it shouldn't be, you know, you shouldn't handle it like as if it's a, right? So, and it's that, right, with the message spirit, you know, shadow wants us to remember still, you know, it's there. We're present with the shadow self, you know, but we also have this higher part of us that defends us very well, you know, our higher nature, you know, that defends us very well and protects us very well too, you know, and let that part of us kind of come out and let there be some sort of balance. I feel like it brings in like harmony, it brings in moderation of the shadow, because it's not like you condemning it or locking it away or saying it doesn't need to exist or being unrealistic with yourself and how you feel sometimes in your experiences, okay? But it's actually bringing in that like, again, that harmony that you need sometimes between that higher self and that dark version of us, right? That darker self, that shadow self, right? So, and the final card was in Pele, transformation. You know, this bomb right there, bomb.com, because that is let us know that the transformation is definitely underway with us here getting a shadow report. You know, so many people are afraid to get the shadow report because they're afraid of what the shadow has to say. And a lot of times the shadow just wants you to just see yourself. It just acknowledge, you know, because that's the biggest part of the shadow work. And when we aren't able to just acknowledge and just see something about ourselves, that's where we start to create false narratives and thoughts in our mind, and we, you know what I'm saying, we're not being realistic with ourselves, right? So I think that the shadow always makes it so where you got to kind of keep it real with yourself, you know, and seeing yourself in all aspects. And that's what the shadow does. So we're going to grab some tarot messages. What does tarot have to tell us at this time? Divine Holy Spirit, connect me to the messages for us all that will be catching this message. All energies known and unknown for the shadow report. Tell me what is most needed for all of us as a collective. Greatest good for all of us. Hey y'all, welcome in. I'm so busy giving the message, I really don't even be looking at the screen. Bad, y'all. What's the tarot messages? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay. Page of Pinnacles. There could be a new job or something like that. I feel like the shadow might want to. I feel like there's a new job or a new something that the shadow is like will be good at. The shadow, the part of us that we hide from the world, I feel like that one is the one that is going to be getting the new job or the new raise or the new opportunity. I'm not saying like your higher self isn't going to be facilitating this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that this is a role for the shadow self. You know what I'm saying? And like giving the shadow its due credit, giving the shadow it's much needed spotlight, because sometimes the shadow just needs something to do. Because if shadow don't got nothing to do, shadow sometimes act out. Shadow do things like, you know, boredom, you know, of the mundane. I feel like that's something so important that we need to keep in mind with this Page of Pentacles. Okay, the Strength card in reverse. Okay. Like, what is it that we aren't feeling and we aren't experiencing? Because when you are experiencing strength, it's oftentimes because you're doubting yourself. We have that sense of low self-esteem and shit like that, where you start feeling inadequate, like, oh, I can't really do some shit. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're kind of moving out of that energy with that. And I feel like that the reason why you will move out of that energy is because the shadow self is gonna like facilitate that, you know, that when you get so down on yourself, you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to fucking find your way out of the darkness and shit like that. Like, it's the shadow. It's the shadow. They be like, look, go this way, because I know it's a light over there. You know what I'm saying? And then we always look at our higher self like, higher self, my light self say, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, give the credit where it's due. And I feel like giving like your darker side, you know, your shadow self, some credit on some real shit, it like helps to balance out the energies. You know what I'm saying? Because you have both energies, your light and your dark, that are both supporting you and that are both, you know, engaging in, you know, this life, this tango balance, you know, dance, so to speak, right? So I feel like we should, you know, as a part of us that we should honor, you know, when facing difficulty, you know, or facing just challenge or whatever we feel like is bringing in that transformation energy, you know what I'm saying, when facing that, right? Ace of Pentacles, some of us definitely looking towards more sustenance here, okay? Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, you know, this, I honestly, I feel like, you know, the shadow aspect within us is a part that many of the world can relate to. And when we start to embrace that, many of the world can see like, damn, I love that about this person. So maybe like you could have like a platform, or like you could be like somebody, and then like the more realer that you are with yourself, the more like people able to connect with you. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like that type of scenario for those, some of you guys with this Page of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles message on some real shit. Okay, you got the Three of Pentacles or the Three of Cups coming in upside down. See, I feel like some of you guys, again, this goes back to the Strength card being in reverse, the doubt. You know, so sometimes shadow wants to tell you like, look, man, you got everything fucking covered. Okay, so this is the reading for those of us that have been feeling like, man, what the fuck is going on? Some of us are really working really hard, and listen, you always manifesting. You're always co-creating with the divine, with the Most High. Okay, you're always creating with God. Always. No matter what whether you sleep, I don't give a damn what you think you're doing. That's what you're doing. All right? And so I feel like, again, it just goes back to that self-doubt, you know? Ain't no pity party over here. And I feel like shadow, that's what shadow wants to constantly let you know, as much as you can beat yourself up, you know, shadow is like, look, I'm gonna be here because, you know, this kind of my domain. Like this, I look over this dark area, you know what I'm saying? But look, you know what I'm saying? There's a higher within us, right? That's meant to guide us in that light and be that light. So hey, if I gotta take you there to so that you can see the light, right? And that's what shadow do. There's all parts of us, and every aspect of us is working towards our greater good. Is working towards our highest self and working towards our evolution as a soul on some real shit. Some of y'all got celebrations and shit that's gonna be coming up. I'm telling you with this Three of Cups message, because it's like you don't even see your some of y'all might not even see your transformation because you're too busy looking too hard on yourself, or judging yourself too critically or over critically, and not seeing necessarily all of the progress that you've made. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit, is the shadow needs you to know that. Just period. But that's the shadow is there for. The shadow is meant to keep you in training. Imagine the shadow not being here. Right? We be in la la land. The shadow keeps us grounded. You know what I'm saying? Keeps us real. So, you know, I feel like the transformation is something that we're all, you know, this is here for all of us, you know. What else is coming out for the shadow that we need to know about right now at this time? Thank you, Divine Spirit. Divine Holy Spirit. What else do we need to know at this time? Thank you. Yeah. There's a lot of strength here, too. You know, when I see the strength card, it just reminds me that somebody is being strong. But you just, again, it's like you just have a hard time. Sometimes you got a way of beating yourself up. You got a way of, like, training yourself a certain type of way. To, like, you expect so much greatness from yourself. And that's fine. But I feel like when it starts to hinder you from being able to see, like, yo, I'm really making progress. And being able to really, like, give yourself, like, a hand clap or, like, some sort of acknowledgement, at least, right? I feel like we coming out of that energy. You know, some of us, our shadow is starting to come out like, hey, you know, I am that I am, you know? And I feel like this is really a good transformation for us here, though, on some collective-ish right here. Spirit, connect me to the messages. Okay, so we got the Six of Cups. I'm just going to take it. Thank you, Spirit. And we got the Knight of Pinnacles. Okay, I'm not lying. Somebody, this is abundance, yo. Some of us could be working on like getting a house or like really creating some sort of stability with the Six of Cups messages. It's about like letting go of what used to be, you know what I'm saying? And just like for real, like only looking towards the future. And I feel like as a collective, you know, with this shadow report, like it's trying to tell us like we're in that space that we want to be in, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like just let everything just flow around us. You know, some of us could be returning back to like the past or something like that, like maybe like some family reunions and shit like that too. I'm seeing a lot of charity and just like happy vibes though, and some real shit with the Six of Cups message. Some of you guys could be like some real like movers and shakers that are like able to give back to the community type shit, you know. Or like maybe this is your plan or like a goal or a mission or something that you already do, right? But yeah, these is like really good messages with the Six of Cups. Anything else here with Holy Spirit? These are because the Knight of Pentacles is like he upright. Okay. The energy is masculine, it's upright, I guess, you know. It's a knight, like, I guess a knight could be feminine, like, let me stop, right? But, yeah, so it's upright, and it's pretty much speaking of, you know, that integrity and that honesty and that good shit, you know? Like everybody has a shadow part of them, a part of them that they don't want the world to see. Of course, I don't want the world to see, you know, that part of me that, you know what I'm saying, the world don't need to see. Like, of course we all create personas and images and of the likes, right? Whatever, you know. But I think it's kind of like shadow finally teaching us like, yo, wow, we could be our real self, our authentic self. And this shadow report is amazing. So give thanks to all of the motherfucking transits that's going on, y'all, because I'm telling you, this shit is hitting different right now. You know what I'm saying? So those of us that's been doing the work, you know, on some real shit, it's going to hit different for us, you know, this message right here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't going to hit like that because some people ain't really doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Let's be fucking real, right? Who the fuck want to work on shadow work? Like, who the fuck want to work on, like when I could just try to not work on that shit? You know what I'm saying? But then as you keep working, then you realize, damn, it's something missing. Yeah, the shit you've been missing out on. You know what I'm saying? So it's always us running, you know, whenever we end up running away from ourselves, it's always us running back into ourselves, right? So, you know, I feel like that was a part of the lesson as well with the transformation, with the goddess Pele, you know. I just see really a stable bunch here as a collective message, like really get into the bag, not like on some, but like slang terms, like really getting your earthly sustenance. If you guys been working hard towards jobs and shit like that, like I feel like your shadow self is responsible for the promotions or the new jobs, or because I feel like too, it's like you would have never pushed yourself maybe to certain limits or certain expectations or whatever, what have you, right? If you had not gone through the shit that showed you within your shadow, like, yo, you are the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so you had to go through that. And I know it's painful and it's difficult, right? Because it's dark down there in that shadow. There's no fucking light there. You just gotta look for it. You just gotta find it, right? That's what it is. It is what it is, right? But when you find it, right? So it's that ish, you know. It's that ish, right? And again, That shadow self is really helping out in the earthly plane. I'm telling you. When the shadow shows the fuck out, the shadow shows out. The Knight of Pentacles also speaks of like stability, you know. Ten of Pentacles, Cups. I want to keep saying Pentacles. Ten of Cups message, right? This is our inner peace. So again, this just goes back to us finally finding some sort of peace within our shadow self instead of just pushing it to the side like it's not a part of me. It's okay, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to hide it and it doesn't exist, and I'm only gonna let you out when it's only us. It's This is like embodying that shit, like every piece of us, so that you know what I'm saying. Like let the world just eat you up. You know what I'm saying, and enjoy that part of you. You know what I'm saying? Every part of you, as you enjoy, the more you enjoy yourself, the more the world eats it up and loves it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you so pure, you so true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And again, it brings inner peace within you, and that's where the transformation can occur. Okay, that's where the true transformation can occur. And again, with the Six of Cups message, I feel like some of us are going back to like that childhood thing. Like, yo, how was it that I used to express myself when I was younger? Because I'm going back to that, right? I'm seeing messages of some of us in the collective with the shadow message. You know, some of us going back to the past and kind of like whatever I did when I was younger to express myself. I don't know if it was maybe like for me, right? It was that gothic shit, right? And we was with the black eyeliner and the fucking platform shoes, you know, and whatever's, right? But I'm seeing some of us going back into that, like, you know, that treasure jar, back into that treasury, like, yo, what these are the things, and you doing these things more, you know, bringing these things more to uh to maybe like people around you, your community, and showing them like, hey, I express myself, and them seeing that through you and saying, yo, I liked it this and I missed it this part of myself. And so to thy own self be true, right? You know what I'm saying? So as you develop, you know what I'm saying? Like you help to develop the collective. You understand? Like we are all like everybody's connected, right? And that's the true inner peace that we are really truly searching for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we look at it like we looking for all of these things, but that's really what you're looking for, to be able to look out into the universe and see that my reflection is I look like the reflection. When I look out to the universe, it looks like me, and vice versa, and that it embodies who I truly am, right? And when it doesn't, that's when there's problems, whether it be internal or external to us, right? So that's the balance. That's how we find, and again, you know, find the true energy of peace, what peace looks like, you know, and that's inside. Can't nobody really give us that. And again, that it took us a long time with that strength card in reverse, you know, that let me know that it took us a long time to find that, to understand what the fuck this was all meaning. Transformation, right? Nine of Pentacles, okay? This is us truly defining who the fuck I am. However old you is getting this message, this is who I'm going to be. This is who I'm going to show the world that I am. And see, that glow up look different. Especially when you are evolved. They see you grew up from where you were, but they see you still growing. You still glowing. Like it's different. With this Nine of Pentacles message in the shadow report here. This shadow report is spicy. Oh man, super spicy. Look at that. Fucking Eight of Swords in reverse. That means that you're walking away from the self-sabotage, from the victimhood, from the bullshit that kept us behind. Man, shout out to the motherfucking transits. And I feel like I can't say all of the damn planets because I feel like I might miss somebody. But shout out to the transits and making this shit possible for the collective. Just period. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm really excited for us, those of us that got the shadow report here this week, you know. Get excited for the development, you know, because this Six of Cups, I see us again just being just in a pure happy state, you know, because you're able to really express yourself for who you are. And again, the world just really accepts that and flows in harmony of that, you know, because it's like it's the you that you truly are. You're no longer holding that back, but you're actually putting that part of you forward. And it's like people, oh, they love that about you. So keep doing that. This is bringing in your transformation, and again, it's healing you. Okay, your health is accelerating. It's going to where you need it to go. You know, there's not no longer a decline there in your shadow. You know, and again, your shadow is always going to be there to defend. You know, the self, right? But overall, yeah, that's what I'm getting. You know, us being more intuitive these days, also with the moon in reverse, being way more intuitive and trusting our own intuition, trusting our own inner voice on some real shit. That's just period. But yeah, this week's shadow report, that it is what it is. All right. Let me know how you guys like these messages. All right. Love you guys. Peace.